Well, hello there everyone, and happy Easter. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm Christy, and look what I have made today, guys. Hot cross buns. Oh my goodness, these are so good. They are the perfect Easter bun. Now, they are traditionally eaten on Good Friday. They are a sweet, spiced bun that usually include dried fruit, and they are marked with a cross on top, representing the crucifixion of Christ. And here is a little bit of history for you. There is one theory that thinks that the buns originated in the 14th century from a monk at the St. Albans Abbey. But there is definite record of the hot cross buns in the early 1700s from London. And it also appears in the English nursery rhyme, Hot Cross Buns. And I find history like that very interesting. So with all that said, let me show you how to make these delicious hot cross buns. So here are all the ingredients that you will need to make the dough for your buns. And I've got my KitchenAid mixer here. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to add these ingredients to my mixer. I'm gonna walk you through it step by step. Now the first thing I'm going to add is my flour. And this is 4 cups of all-purpose flour. And then I have 2 1/4 teaspoons of a quick active yeast, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1/3 cup of sugar. I'm going to add my dough hook, and I'm just going to give this a light mix. And then I have 1 1/2 cups of a whole milk. Now I want to warm my milk, so I'm going to place it in the microwave for a couple minutes. So next I'm going to add my butter to this milk, and this butter will actually help to cool the milk down slightly because right now it's steaming hot, and we don't want it to be too hot or it will kill the yeast. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stir it until this butter is melted. Okay, so the butter is completely melted, and so now what I want to do is do a little test to make sure that my milk is not too hot. And this is just a little tip. This is something I like to do. If you stick your finger in and it's too hot to keep your finger inside of the milk, then it's too hot, but this is just right. So I'm gonna pour my milk into my flour, and I'm also gonna add 1 egg. And I'm gonna give this a little mix. And before it's mixed completely up, I'm gonna go ahead and add my cinnamon. I'm gonna zest this orange. So the zest of 1 orange. This really gives good flavor to the buns. And then I'm going to add some dried currants. Now you can use raisins if you want. I just like the flavor that the currants give. So I'm going to add those. All right, then just continue to mix until a dough comes together. So I have a large bowl here, and I'm going to spray it with some nonstick spray. And then I'm going to take my dough out of my KitchenAid, and this dough is a little wet and sticky, but don't let that scare you. And don't be tempted to add more flour. So I'm just taking a rubber spatula, and I'm just going to put my dough into this bowl. Then I'm just going to take some nonstick spray, and I'm going to spray my hands. And I'm just going to kind of fold this dough in on itself a little bit. Just to form a nice, smooth, round dough. All right. So now I'm going to cover this with a clean towel and place it in a warm place and let it rise for about 2 hours until it doubles in size. So my dough has been rising for a couple hours, and it has doubled in size. So now I'm going to punch it down, let it fall onto my counter, just like that. And then I'm going to cut the dough into about 12 pieces. Now I like to take my kitchen scale and weigh out the dough. to about 3 to 3.5 ounces per dough ball. And I'm just taking each dough ball and I'm gently kind of rolling it in a circular motion. And my hand is like slightly cupped just until it has a nice smooth round top. And as you can see, I have placed my rolls just about 1 inch apart from each other. I'm going to cover them back up and let them rise for another 30 minutes. So now I'm going to make a flour paste that I will use to make the crosses for the buns. And I have 3 tablespoons of flour, and I'm going to add about 3 to 4 tablespoons of water. So that was 3. Let's see where that's at. Let's go with 1 more tablespoon. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, that is what you're looking for. And then I have here a Ziploc bag, and I'm going to pour this flour paste into the bag. Seal it up. And then I will just cut the corner off and pipe the flour paste right on top of each bun right before I bake them. So the crosses are done, and now I'm going to bake them in a 400-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. And while my buns are in the oven baking, I'm going to make a delicious glaze. Now I have 2 tablespoons of an apricot preserves, but you can use orange marmalade, and 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm going to pop this in the microwave until that butter melts, and yeah, I'm going to brush the top of the buns when they come out of the oven with this glaze. These are so light, fluffy, tender. They're sweet, but not too sweet. They're spicy with the cinnamon. Oh, they are just delicious. And you can add whatever dried fruit you want. Raisins. You can chop up dried apricots if you wanted. Dried cherries. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you have a very happy and blessed Easter. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. God bless, and I will see you soon with more delicious recipes.